Hello everyone and welcome back to the Aircraft Showcase. Uh, since last time we finished Ace Combat 4, we're going to move on to the next game, which is Ace Combat 0. We have 36 aircraft in this game, so we're going to do 6 episodes of 6 aircraft each. And today we're going to start with the first set, which comprises of the 3 starters. The MiG-21, the F-4, and the MiG-29. So let's get started with the first one. And we're going to... First mission will be the round table, soldier style.
Head Operations has issued an emergency order for a reconnaissance mission to be conducted near the border. You will be monitoring the airspace B-7R, currently under Belkin control. Strong opposition is expected by enemy squadrons, and the presence of a magnetic field has been detected.
So the first aircraft that we're going to look at, also this is the 100% complete save file, so I have access to all aircraft, liveries, and weapons. Alright, our first aircraft on the list. It's not that. The F-5E Tiger II. A low-cost, lightweight tactical fighter with respectable capability in all areas. Easy to fly and maintain, the Tiger II is employed in air forces around the globe. So, real strange stats. It's made by Northrop. Its life of service in the United States Air Force was from 1975 through 1990. And it is still in use with the United States Navy as a primarily aggressor. However, other notable users or operators have been the Swiss Air Force, the Taiwan Air Force, the South Korean Air Force, and the Iranian Air Force. Let's see here. Other ones include Bahrain, Botswana, Brazil, Chile, Honduras, Kenya, Mexico, Morocco, Spain, Thailand, Tunisia, Turkey, and Yemen. Former operators include Austria, Canada, Ethiopia, Greece, Indonesia, Jordan, Kingdom of Libya, Malaysia, the Netherlands, North Yemen, Norway, the Philippines, Saudi Arabia, Singapore, the South Vietnamese, although I think they all got destroyed after the North took over. Believe it or not, the Soviet Union, just how we would capture the Soviet fighters and use them as aggressors. Apparently the Soviets did the same with some of our F-5s. Sudan, and Turkey, Venezuela, and Vietnam. Well, formerly North Vietnam. But anyway, strange drill stats. See, this is a fighter, and we've got the beautiful hexagon stat there. It is 62 in speed, a 32 in mobility, a 60 in stability, a defense of 43, an air-to-air of 22, and air-to-ground of 47. Now, what I like about Zero is the each of the aircraft are given at least one air-to-air, if they're not strictly an attacker, and at least one air-to-ground. That way, you have a lot more versatility and flexibility in your aircraft. Before we discuss the weapons, we're going to look at the liveries. The soldier is the solid medium gray. We've got air superiority gray. For the mercenary, we've got the three-tone brown-green camouflage, kind of like a deserty. I'm not sure exactly which real-world livery it's based off of, if any. Then for soldier, we've got the three-tone blue camouflage, aka the War Dog camouflage. The knight, we've got black and white, kind of like a two-tone there. And then our special is literally the tiger. Also, what I find cool is, we're gonna take the War Dog livery, but in this game, you can have the flaps work and the canopy go down. It's cool. Anyway, our weaponry. We are armed. Tiger's giant majestic machines. Welcome, Ross. We've got, for our armaments, 52 AIM-9M Sidewinders as our standard missile. For special weapons, we've got the QAM, the AIM-9X Sidewinder. We get 4 of these. Then we've got 10 Mark 83 unguided bombs and 8 BLU-32 napalm bombs. Oh, we're going to take the AIM-9Xs. Also, if a tiger likes you, like any cat, affections sometimes include biting and clawing. Yes, I'm well aware. I own 2 mini panthers. Or, more accurate to say, I am staff to 2 mini panthers.
Belkin Priority 1 Strategic Airspace B7R,
I have cats.
aka the Round Table. It was the
Because my
grand
cat
stage
loves
where
me.
we pilots performed. We were all on an equal footing, fighting under the same conditions. No affiliations or ranks to hinder us.
Yeah, Zero is the weird
Bases
game
from
in the
every
fact that it
nation
has
crisscrossed through
3
those skies
planes
in
you
pursuit
can
of
get
air superiority.
to start with. This
The
one,
only
I
rule
think,
of
is the
engagement
best
was
air-to-air
survive.
dogfighter.
Com team, this is Eagle Eye. Penetrate B7R and get a feel for the surroundings. Com 2, roger. This kind of job is what we're all about.
We're gonna hold off on the special weapons because I only got 4.
Enemies on radar. Exercise caution. Something wrong with the IFF. Only 200.
But as a starter aircraft, I much prefer the F5 Tiger to the F4 Phantom. Hello, Cross! Welcome to Spring. So the VODs and the live. Hey, I'm glad you're here. No, these are not the broken. AIM-9Xs. That is correct.
Let's see what those planes are made of. Radar locked. Bandit down. Nice shot.
Yeah, the Tiger was essentially a response to the Air Force and Navy's light fighter program, which never really came to fruition officially, because at the time the
Bandits in gun range.
brass were more focused on heavier fighters.
Warning, the enemy's tracking you on radar. Locked on. Missile launched. Enemy aircraft down.
But during Vietnam, as losses mounted because the Air Force decided,
Radar shows
oh, you know, would be perfect to dogfight these little tiny MiG-21s and MiG-17s, a giant F-4 with missiles that only work half the time. Hello, Mia. Welcome to stream.
This is round 2. There's 2 of them. Well then, let's
Not
have some
really
fun.
your dungeon grading. Fair enough.
Golf team, we cannot authorize a retreat. Intercept them. I figured you'd say that. This is gonna cost you extra. You mercenaries make your own choice.
All right. Arm the spam rams. Yeah, the F-5 proved to be invaluable as an aggressor aircraft to both the Air Force and the Navy, because it allowed the pilots of our relatively bigger aircraft to learn how to engage and dogfight something much smaller than them.
Warning, the enemy's tracking you on radar. All units, sir, these pilots outmaneuver you. Golf 2, Mark 2. Radar lock. Bandits in gun range. Golf 1, Mark 2.
Will you trap me? Yeah, these are not the QAMs of lore. Of yore. Come on. Gotcha. Ow. Yeah, the SCS is definitely better in this game than Ace-5. I will grant you that. Yeah, these AIM-9Xs aren't really... Here, the QAM in Ace-5 or 7 is... No, Ace-0 bleh, is not that great. It's more like an HPAA. Yeah, that is the F5.
Falcon reinforcements confirmed down. Mission complete. Return to base.
Is a small little starter
Incoming message from Allied Forces
capable at
Operations Command.
dogfighting things
Allied naval
on the
force
same
acting on
tier,
advance. We appreciate your work.
but has a lack of endurance.
Yo, buddy. You still alive?
Alright, so that's one aircraft down.
Thanks to your success, we managed to confuse Belka. You've caught the attention of head operations.
Alright. So for the next aircraft, this is actually going to be a unicorn in the sense that I think it only appears as a playable aircraft once. All right. Let me just pull up everything here. We're going to do Glacial Skies on Soldier. And our next aircraft on the list is the J-35 Draken, or J-35J Draken. An intercept aircraft capable of short takeoff and landing, STOL. Its characteristic double delta wing design allows for low air resistance and high maneuverability at low speeds. So real strange stuff. This was made by Saab, and it served from 1960 to 2005. Its primary operators were Sweden, country of origin, Austria, Finland, and Denmark. Other minor operators include the United States for the National Test Pilot School. As for strange real stats, wait, never mind. The Draken is not a unicorn. It appeared in Infinity and Ace Combat 2. Never mind. We've got a speed of 70, mobility of 40, stability of 30, a defense of 43, air-to-air stat of 25, and air-to-ground of 40. And our liveries, our standard livery here, is Air Superiority Gray with light gray nose cone. It's kind of like the standard Swedish modern. It's their version of the Air Superiority Gray. The Merc got, they call it pale green, but I see it more as like a tan. Upper fuselage with dark gray lower and a black nose cone. Not sure what it's supposed to be from. Soldier. I actually kind of like this one. It's dark green, dark brown, at least what they call it. I see it, maybe it's because of the piss filter, but I see it as like a navy teal with a dark gray. Two-tone camouflage. Then we've got our knight is shit. I hit the wrong button. I'm not sure exactly what livery this is supposed to be from. It looks kind of like the YF-22 prototype livery, but I'm not sure why a Draken would have it. And then we've got the Espada scheme, Espada 1. Yeah. But the livery we're gonna go with is the soldier. Just, I like this one look. It's the best. Now, the armaments we've got, we are armed with 50 AIM 9M Sidewinders, so we actually have 2 less than the Tiger. However, what the Draken here is better for is, well, interception. It is armed with 8 RB-27, which is the Swedish version of the AIM-26B Falcon semi-active guided air-to-air missile, which is this thing right here. We've also, for air and ground work, we got 8 Mark 83 bombs. And I'm not exactly sure what rocket launcher this is. It's definitely not an LAU-68, but I couldn't find anything on either Acepedia or Wikipedia. Other than that, they're 12 35mm rocket pods on 600 wing pylons. No, 2 75mm air-to-ground rocket pods. Okay. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. But we've got 8 volleys of those. We're going to take the RB-27s. But yeah, early on, this is going to be your go-to long-range air-to-air aircraft because of the Falcons. It's not as maneuverable as the Tiger's going to be, but it's faster. So this is better for chasing down like bombers or fleeing aircraft, whereas the Tiger is better for engaging in a furball. Also, the missile pylons are rather unconventional. They have the standard missiles, the Sidewinders, close into the fuselage, with the heavier special weapons mounted on the wing, closer to the wingtips, or further out. Normally it's the other way around. Actually, we're just going to have cover. So look in the cockpit. See, this thing does not turn very well. Especially against a more nimble opponent like the Tiger. But against bombers, 1995. Yeah, this is 1995 in Strangerville. Ow. Although the Draken is a bit more tankier than the Tiger is. So there's that. Now, the Tiger would take longer to catch up to this thing, but the Draken has speed to spare. Yep, it's a fleeing bomber. Real estate. Pretty much. The best thing about free mission is it doesn't matter how you fly ace style wise, because your ace style will not be affected. So even if you're on night, if you're trying to money grind on free mission, just, you know, unload on everything. Now, these bombers have a lot of ground on us, but because we're an interceptor, well, we kind of caught up to them. Last R-27, or RB-27, whatever. Jesus, this thing's tanky. There we go.
Base Commander Golem Team, the enemy attack unit has been successfully intercepted. I'd like to see how those Falcon
Alright.
report back to their superiors.
And we're moving right along.
Cypher, I got a feeling you and me are gonna get along just fine. Buddy. Golem Team, you have permission to land.
It all started on that snowy day. My first impression was he had potential.
All right. Starts time. Friendship ends.
Thanks to you, Belka's attack on Valet Air
I'd like
Base
to
has
think
failed.
that the friendship
Your
recovered.
efforts will not go unrewarded. Your actions may well decide who wins
Um,
the Belkan War. I, for one, will be counting on you.
But that's just me. All right, so for the next aircraft, we're heading to Round Hammer. I mean, it would take some serious work on Pixie's part,
The
Ross. I
USO and
get
OSINT
that.
coalition forces are to launch a joint
But
campaign.
depending upon
Collective strategic military force of the two
how
armies
you
will be
play your
referred to as the
cipher,
Allied
it's
forces.
not out of the realm of
The
possibility.
campaign will be called Offensive Campaign Number 4101.
Because I don't think Pixie intended to kill PJ. That shot was meant for Cypher. And two, and more importantly, Pixie went from an idealist, or from a cynic to an idealist in an extremely short time, because someone, or Bristow, Wizard 1, kind of lured him in with the World with No Boundaries talk early in the game. But for the most part, Pixie rejected him, because even after Gladysent, the war was still progressing like most wars do. It was lasting a bit longer than he would have liked, but you gotta protect Ustia's borders, and the best way to prevent an invasion is to take out the invader. And Belka never technically surrendered. The point where his cynicism changed into idealism was Hofnug. If Hofnug was not a thing, I don't think Pixie would have joined a World of No Boundaries. Anyway, our next aircraft is the Mitsubishi F1, our first attacker and our last starter. A variant of a training aircraft, this attack aircraft is developed as an air-to-ground and air-to-ship fighter attacker. Its outdated design lags behind that of the current fighter. So, some real strange stats. The trainer aircraft they are talking about is the Mitsubishi T2, which was Japan's first real fighter jet, or military jet aircraft. It was manufactured from 1971 through 1988, and it was finally retired in March 2006. Now the T2 was developed by the JASDF into the Mitsubishi F1. It was an attack craft. 77 were built. It was manufactured from 1975 to 1987. It was introduced in April of 1978. First flight, June 3rd, 1975. And it was retired on March 2006. And it would be essentially replaced by another fighter later on the list. Its sole operator was the Japan Air Self-Defense Force, or the JASDF. Our real strange stats. We have a speed of 45, which is not terrible for an attacker. Keep in mind that the F5's speed was a 62. So it's slow, but it's not the slowest. Our mobility is a 30. Stability is a 26. Our defense is a 40. Air-to-air is a 17. but our air to ground is a 60. Our liveries, the standard livery is the desert green and brown camouflage. I just call this the air to ground, or the ground version of the JSDF stuff. Then we've got, for the Merc, gray desert camouflage. I don't call it desert, but whatever. Soldier is just solid gray, air superiority gray. Gotta hate the ASG, it's so boring. For Knight, we've got the gray and green camo. This one honestly reminds me a lot of the Royal Air Force's green and gray two-tone for the Tornadoes. And then for our special, got turquoise body with black anti-glare stuff and a grayish body or belly. And I believe setting. Let me go. Nice. We're gonna go with 9 for this. Yeah, we'll just... Yeah, this is a very long and thin fighter. This, to me, this actually, you know what this reminds me of? The Lockheed F-104. But it's got a longer wingspan, so it's actually somewhat more stable. But our weapons, we are armed with 56 AAM-3s for standard weapons. That's the Japanese homegrown version of the Sidewinder. For our rockets, we have 10 volleys of the JLAU-3, which is just a Japanese version of the American LAU-68. We've got 12 Mark 83 unguided bombs, and then 12 ASM-2 anti-ship missiles. But actually, this is the only Ace Combat game that I know of where you start with, where you're given an attacker at the beginning. Which is kind of nice. And the F1 is a very good attacker, especially for the early game. This attacker will take you at least through Excalibur. You might want to upgrade after Excalibur, but is a very capable anti-ground craft. Fortunately, these anti-ship missiles are not spread bombs. Are you though? Yeah.
AA guns destroyed. This is quite a battle. Both sides have a lot of firepower. Locked on. I heard there's a few Rusio mercenaries caught up in the mix. Yeah, they're supposed to be good. Two Rusio fighters. That eagle with a red wing.
It's him. That's Solo Wing.
Don't worry about the battle damage. Stay on course and stick with the mission. Send out all capable ships. We need to use everyone.
Yeah, I have infinite ammo on the gun. Why not?
The GOM team is engaged with Belkan forces. Other planes
Sorry.
are following them.
Tired. Long day at work. Yeah, the real life story of Solo Wing. Yeah. The Israeli pilot was like, yeah, if I knew that I was missing my entire right wing, I would have ejected. But because of all the vaporizing fuel, the vapor cloud obscured his wings. It was like, oh, well, I'm still in the air. I'll keep going.
Locked on. Enemy destroyer sunk. Rusio aircraft approaching. All ships engaged. Cypher, let's take out those ships.
Yeah. And then as that one YouTube video or that we watched about the F-15 in the Discord, it's like all McDonnell Douglas had to do to sell people on their plane was like, hey, okay, what can your plane do? Oh, it can do this, this, and this. Yeah, ours can fly on one wing. Fuck!
Locked on. Fox 2. He dodged it.
I mean, is it recommended to fly on one wing? Absolutely not.
Missile hit.
But just knowing that it can be done is an amazing feat in and of itself. or not Fox 3. Fish in the water. I don't know the fire code for anti-ship missiles. So it says fish in the water because they're basically torpedoes. Fish in the water. I don't think anyone knew that the F-15 could just say, fuck you physics, I'm flying with one wing. It was just as much a shock to McDonnell Douglas that their aircraft could do that. Because they were... Otherwise they would have, you know, charged the Air Force more for it. More enemy aircraft. All right, Pixie. Yeah, I've noticed that Pixie fires a lot more than War Dog does.
Enemy ship has been sunk. Locked on. The Belgian
Alrighty.
ground forces have been eliminated. Nice work, comm team. This should make your next operation a whole lot easier. Commander, we are on the capsule. We appreciate the great air support.
I am getting real tired. There. But
Operation Roundham.
we got 3 ships or 3 aircraft left to go. And it's only not even 5 yet. I'll be fine. All right. Next aircraft. We're heading back to the round table. This time, the night version.
Head operations has issued an emergency order.
Now for an aircraft that I'm not really big. I mean, I wasn't a big fan of the Draken either, but I'm not really a big fan of this one. I'll admit I've got some pro-Western bias on this one. But we've got the MiG-21 BIS fish bed. a small single-engine fighter, codenamed Fishbed. While its electronics and weapons capability are outdated, it makes up for it with high maneuverability and low cost. Real strange stats. The Mikoyan Gavarevich MiG-21. Its designer or manufacturer was Mikoyan Gavarevich. Its status is currently in service with someone. There are 11,469 produced. It's manufactured from 1959 to 1986. Its introduction date was 1959, and its first flight was in June 6, 1955. I don't think it's currently in service with the Russians anymore, but it's still in use somewhere. Its primary forces were the Soviet Air Force, and its current operators include Angola, Cuba, Mali, Mozambique, North Korea, Sudan, Syria, Yemen. Former operators include Afghanistan, Algeria, Bangladesh, Belarus, Bulgaria, Burkina Faso, Cambodia, China, Congo, Croatia, Czechoslovakia, Czech Republic, East Germany, Egypt, Eritrea, Ethiopia, Finland, Guinea-Bissau, Germany, Georgia, Hungary, India, Indonesia, Iran, Iraq, Israel, I mean, they listed ISIS, Kyrgyzstan, Laos, Madagascar, Mongolia, Namibia, Nigeria, Poland, Romania, Russia, Serbia, and Montenegro, Slovakia, Somalia, Tanzania, Turkmenistan, Uganda, Ukraine, Vietnam, Yugoslavia, Zaire, and Zambia. And the United States captured a few of them to use as reverse engineer and aggressor. But basically, the MiG-21 is, in terms of standard fighter that is exported to people aligning with a certain power in the Cold War. Like I said, if you were pro-West, you either got the F4 or the F5. If you were pro-Soviet, you got the MiG-21. But Stranger stats. We have a speed of 73, the fastest so far. We have a mobility of 35, stability of 29, defense of 42, air-to-air of 22, and air-to-ground of 47. Our liveries, the standard, or the Ustio, is just the plain gray, or plain white with green tail tip. I'm not sure. I think this is just standard. Then for the Merc, we've got the dual green tone forest camo based on the Finnish Air Force's MiG-21 livery. The Soldiers is brown and green. The Knights is white and gray, based off the Romanian MiG-21 Lancer C, which isn't bad, but the best one is a special, the Hookbein which is based on the low-vis Czech Air Force. Fishbed livery. But as for weapons, we are armed with 56 R-60 aphids as our standard missile. Then we've got the UB-16-57 rocket pod. We get 8 volleys of those. We've got the FAB 500 M62 unguided bomb. I think this one's actually a 250 kilogram instead of a 500 kilo. I don't know. Although the FAB 500, that's what they say the model is, and that would be a 500 kilo. So who knows? Going to get 10 of those, and the weapon we're going to be taking is the QAM, the R-73 Archer, and we get 6 of those. All right. Now, I don't really mind the 21's performance. I just don't like the way the fishbed looks.
Belkin Priority 1 Strategic Airspace B-7R, aka the...
I don't know, it just looks ugly to me.
Penetrate B-7R and get a feel for the surroundings.
Watches the big bros in the chat. Oh, damn! I mean, it's not the worst looking aircraft,
Enemies on radar. Exercise caution.
but it's definitely not built for aesthetics.
Something wrong with the IFF. Only 2 aircraft are showing up on radar. It seems they're on to us. Comm team, engage.
Now, the MiG-21 in real life was built as a light interceptor, not a dogfighter. That was the MiG-17's job. MiG-21 was built to take out bombers, not necessarily the big lumbering American bomb or American B-52s, but the fighter bombers, the strike craft, the thuds, so to speak. It also did extremely well initially against the Phantom because,
Radar shows additional craft approaching here.
well,
B-7R at high speed.
you know, they had a cannon integrated from the get-go. Also, Phantom pilots didn't know how to fight smaller aircraft. But we can talk about that later with the next one.
Comm team, we cannot authorize a retreat. Intercept them. I figured you'd say that. This is gonna cost you extra. Unlike you mercenaries, I fight for a real cause. The ones who survive are those who fight for their convictions. This is a round table. Dead men's words hold no meaning. Looks like we've got
to go may not have been the best fight for this aircraft.
Approaching gun range.
There we go.
Lucio is holding their own at the round table. I know it's the round table, but we can do this. Just like anywhere else. Missile launched. Yeah, Lucio. You're faster than I thought. Now things are nice and even. Cypher, one for you and one for me.
Come on.
What were those guys, please, Joey? Locked on. Calm one, Fox 2.
Son of a bitch.
Watch out, the enemy's tracking you on radar. Coming to, Fox 2.
I do not like this aircraft.
Radar locked. Approaching gun range. Calm 1, missile launched. Missile hit. Locked on. Great missile. Bandits in gun range.
Come on. I also don't like that I don't have high deterrence.
Calm 1, Fox 2.
Okay. 2 aircraft left.
Apparently that was their captain. Come to, Fox 2. Bandits in gun range. Fox 2.
1 left.
Watch out, the enemy's tracking you on radar.
There we go.
Bandit shut down.
Well, that was a tougher fight than I
Tokyo
expected.
reinforcements confirmed down. Mission complete. Return to base.
Yeah. They say that the fish bed in this game is maneuverable. It's
Allied naval
not
force has
really.
begun its advance. We appreciate your work.
I mean, it is a low tier aircraft,
They were
so,
just a couple of decoys.
but still. Anyway, we've got 2 more aircraft left.
It seems B7R is more heavy.
Alright. Our 5th aircraft for the day. And our 2nd that isn't a starter. We're going to be doing... Well, I know I put in the script for this. But actually, I want to show off something else for it. So, we're going back to Glacial Skies, Merc. Because this is one of the few times in Ace Combat
Listen
that
up. We have a situation on our hands.
this
A
aircraft is
major
given
squadron
its
of
signature
Belgian
weapon.
bombers has crossed our border, and it's making its way here to Valais Air Base.
The
Apparently, they intend to
other
attack our
times
base
would have
in an
been
initiative to gain hegemony over the entire Republic of Usto. Valais Air Base is our country's last line of defense. If our base falls, no one will be left
Assault
to stop
Horizon.
Delta from taking over Ustio. Your mission is to destroy the squad of bombers and defend our base. Belka's invasion must end here.
Skies of Deception. And that's it. This is the first time in Ace Combat history that this aircraft is given its proper weapon loadout. And that'd be the F-4E Phantom II. A large fighter aircraft, interceptor, known as the Phantom II. Although its design is outdated, its massive payload and superior range make it effective in both air-to-air and air-to-ground combat. Air-to-air is an interception only. Do not dogfight with this thing. That is a mistake. That's a trap. But anyway. Real strange stats. The F-4 Phantom, the E model, was manufactured and developed by McDonnell Douglas. And it served from 1967 to 1991 in the United States Air Force. Originally, though, the Phantom was developed not for the Air Force, but for the Navy as an interceptor. But the Navy never actually got the E model. But some notable operators currently still using the F-4. We've got Greece, Iran, and Turkey. Former operators include Australia, Egypt, Germany, Greece. Well, different variant. Imperial Iran, Israel, Japan, South Korea, Spain, different variant for Turkey, the United Kingdom, and from the United States, NASA, the Air Force, the Marine Corps, and the Navy. Although, again, only the Air Force used the F-4E. But the F-4 in total, all models, was manufactured from 1958 to 1981, and there were 5,195 built. I think the Phantom may be the most manufactured American aircraft, at least jet. I think the P-47 actually had more made in general, but that was a piston aircraft. If I recall, for a time, the Phantom II was also used as an aggressor. Yeah, I'm not sure who used it as an aggressor, but yeah. The Phantom's roles, I mean, they were used pretty much as everything. Interceptor, they're used as a dogfighter because the Air Force is stupid. They were used as a fighter bomber and a strike craft. They were used as recon. They were used as aggressors. They were used as trainers. And they kind of invented the role of suppression of enemy air defense, or SEAD, also known as the Wild Weasel. So, Phantoms were extremely heavily used. It's just that only, at least in the Americans, only the Navy really used it to the best of its abilities. At least at first. The Air Force finally got its act together and started using it more as an interceptor and strike fighter, and it really came into its own as a wild weasel. Anyway, strange drill stats. We have a speed of 63, which is wrong. It should be a lot faster. Mobility of 32, stability of 46, defense of 56, air to air of 25, and air to ground of 50. We are armed, historically, with 62 AIM-9C Sidewinders. However, more accurately, in the game, they're AIM-9Ms. Livery-wise, the standard is the blue body and white underside based on the Royal Navy FG1, or the F4K. Then for the Merc, we have the three-tone Luftwaffe RF4E Norm 83 camo. For the Soldier, we've got the Oceanic / Marine JASDF livery. For the Knight, we've got the Hail Gray. And then for Special, it's Silver. We're going with this one. But you may have heard me mention that this is the first time that the Phantom is actually given its proper loadout. And that's because, aside from the Sidewinders, we're also, for the first time, armed with its signature AIM-7 Sparrow. You get 6 of these. And this is what made it an interceptor. It was great for killing bombers from far away. Hell, the Sparrows are even good at killing fighters from far away. It was just the Air Force, well, not the Air Force, but the politicians, said, oh yeah, you can't use BVR, or you have to visually confirm your target because we haven't really invented IFFs yet. So it was difficult to tell if a radar contact was a friendly or an enemy. And since friendlies were in the skies around them, this was like visually confirmed. I get the reasoning behind it. But if you're gonna have a fighter escort locked to visual range only engagement, you should have gone with a gunfighter like the F-8 Crusader, because the Phantom had no short range reliable weapons. But the Sidewinder, the AIM-9C Sidewinder, was a piece of shit. And that's what the Navy had. The Air Force actually used the AIM-4 Falcon, which is an even bigger piece of shit. But anyway, we've got the AIM-7 Sparrow, the Mark 84 unguided bombs, and the BLU-32 napalm bomb. I get 10 of these, 8 of these, 6 of these. But I'm actually going to use the Phantom in its intended role. Interception. And unlike in Ace 4, when you start out with an interception mission with the Phantom, I'm actually equipped with the correct weaponry. Range line missiles, no guns, no load speed maneuverability, massive smoky engines, and a little training. Yep! Throw them into a dogfight! What could possibly go wrong? Also, welcome to Kale. Now, by the end of the Vietnam War, and after the Vietnam War, the Sparrows got much better, much more reliable. Sidewinders became adopted globally for or military-wide, no matter the service, for your short-range heater missile, and they improved dramatically. So by the late 70s, the Phantom was actually in a good spot. Fox 1. Now, technically, the Sparrows here are the most accurate air-to-air missile in this game, provided you can keep the target in that cone, which is actually kind of nice. Yeah, they're even. Now, technically, the Phantom has 4 Sparrow hardpoints, not 2. But due to game mechanics, you're limited to 2 hardpoints. But they are in the correct positions, so that's good. Okay, I think the classic loadout for USAF air-to-air Phantom was 4 Sparrows, 4 Sidewinders. The Sidewinders were on underwing dual mount or dual rack pylons, and then the Sparrows were in those embedded tracks on the fuselage. Is it? Is it really? Ow. Alright, that's the last escort.
Enemy bombers have reached the center of Operation Airspace.
Yeah, they're not going to get it much further.
I don't have time for that. It's every man for himself.
Cali? Nah, I'm not Cali. I'm thorough.
Looks like Dom 2 is gonna steal the show again. Dom 1 shot down a bandit. Come on, Pixie, leave a few for us, will ya?
Pixie hasn't gotten shit. It's Cypher you gotta worry about.
Taking these guys out ought to pretty up my kill score.
Thank you for the clip. I'll have to look at it once the mission's over. Now that is how you appropriately use the F4 Phantom in an air-to-air roll. Interception. So, I know I've said I've hated the Phantom a lot. I think I need to admit it. I don't mind the Phantom when it's used correctly. I hate that everyone thinks it's a fucking dogfighter when it's not.
It all started on that
God, I'm
snowy
becoming
day.
a triple ace in his first mission.
My first impression
Well, I was the one that shot down all the targets. Let's actually look to see what, how many targets there actually were. Glacial skies. Six B-52s, 4 BM-35, so that's 10. That's a double ace. One yellow B-52, but that one I think split. So we're not going to count it. We've got 5 F5s. So that's 15. 3 F4s, so that's 18. Plus 1 ace. So that's 19. So we are just shy of a quadruple ace. Yeah, I hate what the Air Force and the politicians did to the Phantom, and damn. That's a good way of putting it.
Thanks to you, Belka's attack on Valais Air Base has failed. Your efforts will not go unrewarded. Your actions may well decide who wins the Balkan War. I, for one, will be counting on you.
And then for our next aircraft, or our last aircraft for the day, we're heading to okay. Merlon Beta. And our last aircraft for the night is the MiG-29A Fulcrum. This fighter was developed with the goal of overpowering the enemy in a one-on-one combat. The Fulcrum boasts powerful engines and refined aerodynamics for superb maneuverability. And again, this is the first time in Ace Combat, in an Ace Combat game where this particular fighter was actually given an air-to-air weapon. Gotta love Zero for that. Anyway, they're not real strange stats. The MiG-29 was manufactured by McCoy and Gurevich. It entered service in 1983 with the Soviet Air Force, and it is still in service. There were just under 1,600 built. It's manufactured from 1981 to 2019. It was introduced in August of 1983, and its first flight was October 6th, 1977. This was basically the Soviet answer to the F-15. However, as history has shown, the F-15 has dominated every single time these two aircraft went head-to-head. Hence why the F-15 is 104-0. It killed a satellite just for show. Primary operators. We have Algeria, Azerbaijan, Bangladesh, Belarus, Bulgaria, Cuba, Egypt, Eritrea, India, Iran, Libya, Mongolia, Myanmar. I didn't even know the Mongolians had an air force. North Korea, Peru, Poland, Russia, Serbia, Sudan, Turkmenistan, Ukraine. The United States actually has a few in private, or used by private defense contractors for aggressor purposes. The U.S. is starting to outsource aggressor duties. Uzbekistan and Yemen. Former operators include Chad, Czechoslovakia, Czech Republic, East Germany, Germany, Hungary, Iraq, Israel, Kazakhstan, Malaysia, Moldova, Romania, Serbia, Montenegro, Slovakia, South Yemen, Soviet Union, Syria, and Yugoslavia. So yeah, basically the Soviets threw this at anybody that, had money and didn't want to buy American or was vaguely communist. Its range rail stats for this game. We have a 73 in speed, a 45 in mobility, so this is actually the most nimble aircraft we have on the list so far. A 39 in stability, a 49 in defense, air-to-air of 30. I think that's also the best air-to-air we've had so far. And an air-to-ground of 55. Our liveries, our standard livery is the Paris 1989 green-gray camouflage. The Merc is the Yuktabanian woodland camouflage from Ace 5. I kind of like this one. This is bad. Soldier is the Polish two-tone dark and light gray camo. This is actually pretty cool. I like this one. Knight is the Hungarian two-tone gray livery with false canopy on the bottom. And the Special. Oh, this is nice. It's really nice. Blue camouflage, similar to the Bangladeshi MiG-29 scheme. Would be great aggressor aircraft. I know. Why don't we get an actual aggressor aircraft? That's kind of what happened. Okay, we're gonna use Special skin here. There it looks all suited up. As for our weapons, we are armed with 64 R-60 aphids as our standard missile. We've got 12 R-27RE Alamo SAAMs, basically the Soviet version of the Sparrow. We've got 10 volleys of the S5 rocket pod. And then the weapon we're going to be using, the KH-29T Kedge. We got 12 of these, and these are basically the Soviet version of the Maverick air-to-ground missile. Alrighty, let's go. Excuse me.
Hey, Cypher, you hear me? Just look at the view.
Now, of all the MiGs,
Countries from up here.
this MiG is my second favorite. I do like the look of the phone because it looks like an actual aircraft instead of a box of wings.
Enemy aircraft approaching.
Though my favorite MiG is the flat pack,
Approaching gun range.
which sadly is not in this game. Son of a bitch.
Only a mercenary would attempt to hold it, man. To be open country, I don't get why they had to go and start up a war. AA guns destroyed. My plane's in good shape. Buddy, you'll be calling me ace at the end of the day.
I mean, ace for the mission or ace in general? Because if you haven't hit ace yet, Pixie, I'm sorry. What are you doing?
Call 1, box 2. Missed. So that's Ustio's mercenary unit. It's an interesting formation.
Yeah, in this game, the MiG-29 is gonna be your first dogfighter, like good dogfighter.
Fire spread to the canopy.
That being said, you might want to hold off on buying it because
Watch out, the enemy's tracking you on
by the time you'll have enough money to buy the Fulcrum, you should also be able to buy a different aircraft, which will be
when we get back.
shown off in episode 3 of the Zero Showcase. Well, a couple better aircraft. However, as a lower tier aircraft, the MiG-29 is definitely the king of the early game.
Locked on. Gone 1, missile launched. Approaching gun range. Gone 1, box 2. Bandits in gun range. Radar lock. Gone 1, missile launched.
There's information.
The missile engaged.
Team has an Eagle, a Fulcrum,
We can dodge this one.
FS-15, SK-30.
Missile evaded. Locked on.
Yeah, my ideal cannon aircraft for Monarch is a lore accurate FS-15, and by that I mean a two-seater,
Missile hit.
because the SMTD was a two-seater. Although, canonically, I do think the Tomcat is Monarch's plane. Or at least
Should be
was
making visual
intended to be.
contact with the enemy base soon.
Well, yeah.
Box 2.
It's war. Ow! Fucking hell. Why is it that it seems like enemy missiles in this game have a faster speed? I mean, possibly. Fuck you, Sam. Fuck you, Sam.
Watch out. The enemy's locked onto you.
Well, take him out. Unlock him.
Radar lock. Calling in attack lock. Fire. Box 2.
I mean, I get it. I just don't like the SU-30 because it's dirtacular. Get it being head.
Missile break. Radar lock. Even if we get through the defense line, there's more trouble waiting for us at the other side.
I don't know. I think Project Wingman is basically done. Like, I don't think it's getting up. Ow, fuck! I don't think it's getting updated anymore.
SAM destroyed.
Because they've been radio silent on everything, so yeah, just assume it's a completed game. I don't want to say dead because it's a single player game. There is no live service. But I don't think there's going to be any more patches. I think the version it's in right now is the version it's going to be.
Has been reduced.
So no native
Transport planes until they're
F-59 to PC. I think that's going to have to be a mod.
There they are. The Allied transport planes.
No, wait, no. F-59 did come to PC. Never mind.
Thank you for securing air superiority.
It's just not that great stability-wise.
What was that? Something flashed again.
All right.
What's going on? Hold on. Incoming emergency message from Operations HQ. Enemy launching long-range attacks. Current airspace is within range.
Zugvogel.
Now you tell us. Where should we fly? Transmitting. Projected enemy targeting coordinates. All units evade attacks and withdraw from airspace. Here comes an attack. Watch out. Plane 4 just vanished. Allied planes are disappearing from radar. Plane 6 is gone too. This is bad. I'm out of here. Roger. Arming hot. Payload 10 is not responding. What's going on? Network on missile.
Since the laser always goes directly in front of you, I've started to learn to, after a bit, point my nose away from the return line. And then bolt for the return line after the laser fires. And there we go.
You're out of the danger zone. Comm team, return to base.
Looks like we live to see another day, Cypher. Welcome back.
And with that, the first episode of the Aircraft Showcase comes to a close. Or at least the Zero Showcase. We've got through the first 6 aircraft. Tomorrow in Dragon Age, we're going to be doing Dragon Age Origins and Batman Arkham Knight. Saturday will be Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty. Sunday will be the Citadel DLC and Mass Effect 3. Monday for sure will be or afternoon will be Final Fantasy X-2. As for the Monday and Wednesday evening night streams, starting next week, I'm gonna be starting a off-stream co-op game with some people, some friends. I'm not sure it's gonna be Monday nights or Wednesday nights or every other one. So either the Monster Hunter for Wednesday or our PS2 Ace Combat grind streams are going to be alternating. I don't know which day, but it will start next week, I think. All right, at least I hope. But if it's Wednesday, then on Monday night we will be completing the Ace Combat 4 hard mode. If it's Monday night, then we'll be starting high rank on Wednesday night. Then Wednesday afternoon will be more Horizon Zero Dawn. And then next week in the showcase, let me go to the aircraft viewer. We're going to be looking at the next 6 aircraft, which would be the F-20A Tiger Shark, or aka Larry, the F-16C Fighting Falcon, the F-A-18C Hornet, the Legacy Hornet, the A-10A Warthog, or Thunderbolt, the MiG-20 or MiG-31 Foxhound, and the Mirage 2000 Delta. Anyway, thank you all for joining me. I hope you had fun, and I will see you guys tomorrow with Dragon Age Origins. Take care and have a great night, everybody.